What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JTW Sports Show. Got TJ, got Will. We're all here today. We're all feeling good. We're all ready to talk about some NBA. We've been talking a lot of NFL stuff going on. Obviously, it's playoff season for the NFL, but NBA's it's looking pretty fun. You know, everything's kind of patching its way. You know, we're about midseason right now, so we're gonna give a couple thoughts. There's a couple rumors and stuff, and just some news to go around the league. So, TJ, how you feeling, buddy?
I feel better today than yesterday. You know, slowly still battling this COVID or whatever it is. I'm just getting through it.
Yeah, I don't know how you go from the flu to COVID. I mean, because for everybody that doesn't know, like TJ tested negative for COVID and then positive for the flu, and then tested positive for COVID. It's weird situation.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I still get chills like right now. Like I just go from hot to cold. That's pretty much that and a cough.
Is it because the fan that's on you, or
no? I have the fan because I'm really hot right now. Like, you know. But other than that and a cough, you know, we're just making it through.
Sounds good. Will, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm great. I'm ready to talk about NBA because, like we said, we haven't talked about it in a while. So, I'll go ahead and kick it off.
Yeah, please.
You know, the title of this video: Contenders versus Pretenders. I mean, I'm gonna ask y'all some teams, and I want y'all to let me know if you think they're contenders or pretenders. And the first team is obviously gonna be the Chicago Bulls. What do y'all think? Do you think they're contenders this year, or do you think they're just they're the number one seed, but when it comes down to it, I don't think they can make a run.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. I love this team. I really do love this team. It's very well-rounded. And I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna say contenders. I mean, it's a tough conference. They're playing in the East. You know, you got the Nets, you got the Bucks, the Sixers are playing solid. So I mean, you still have a lot of challenge and a lot of good opponents. But this Bulls team is solid. Obviously, Lonzo Ball, he's out for a little bit, but when he's back, him and Alex Caruso, you know, backcourt, it's not that bad. DeMar DeRozan's been one of the best players in the league. And then you got obviously Zach Levine. You know, he's been solid. He's had a little bit of injury issues, but when he's on the court, he's an all-star player. And then Vucevic. I mean, you got a very well-rounded starting five, and you have a lot of depth on that team. I think their depth is what's going to keep them at a high record, a really good record in the regular season. And then they're going to play a lot from the starting five. God forbid any COVID or injuries, and I seriously think I can see this team in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
I'm going to piggyback off of what Jimmy said. I think they're also contenders. I mean, I think not having Lonzo for 6 to 8 weeks is going to hurt a little bit. But like Jimmy said, they have depth to not necessarily miss a beat and keep that sustainability that they have been doing and continue to play at the level they've been playing at. I mean, injuries come and go. COVID hits teams. I mean, it's hit every NBA team at some point or another where G League players were finally getting their chance, with 10-day hardships or whatever, because it was bad. So, but I think the Bulls are contenders, and I think if they can keep up the way they've been playing and minus the injuries, or even play through the injuries and still play the level they are playing, they'll make it to the Eastern Conference.
Okay. I'm gonna go on the other route here and say they're pretenders, only because I don't think their defense is there. Their offense is good. Obviously, Lonzo and Alex Caruso helps. Alex Caruso being back helps. Now they're losing Lonzo. Now, DeMar DeRozan has shown he can make big shots, but I just don't think they have that wing defender. Because Lonzo's he's 6'6", Alex Caruso's 6'4", 6'5", but they don't have that guy that can guard a Kevin Durant, a Jason Tatum, a Jimmy Butler. They don't have that guy, and I think that's going to hurt them come playoff time.
Yeah.
So I do like the team. I like the team. I'm glad they're good. I love DeMar DeRozan, how he's, resurrected his career.
But off of what you said, I have a spin question for you. Is today's NBA more just who cares about the defense, who's just got the better offense when it comes down to it?
Yes, but if you look at the teams that win championships every year, they're always top.
Oh, no. I agree with you, but I was looking at it the other day. I think I was watching a game with my dad, and we were looking at it, and I was like, the fact that, not going into overtime, teams are scoring between 120 to 130. He's like, it's all about making shots. It's no more who can play the grit defense. It's, all right, who's going to put up the most shots?
Yeah,
And
that's
and
like
I
a
and
couple
I
weeks
kind
ago
of
there was the Warriors and Suns game, and the final score was like 93-89, and everybody was like, "What? Like, oh God, that was such a bad game." But it really wasn't. It was a good game to watch. Yeah, there was a lot of missed shots, but it was a good game to watch. And that's what, like, nowadays in the NBA, it's all about scoring. Like you
Mhm.
said, nobody plays defense. But if you look at the teams that actually do play defense, they're the ones that win it all.
And I mean, a part of them not playing defense is really them. It's been the adaptation to the 3-point shot, and like you, if you can spread the court, if you can stretch the court really on offense, it makes it harder for the defense, obviously. But defenses like in the past, when it was a lot better defensively, they're compacting the post and they're stopping the drive. And now it's more shooting, like shooting heavy league. I mean, it's tougher for defenses to play defense really. So it's not that they don't care that they're not trying to play defense. It's that like they physically like when you're playing against Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, it is extremely hard. So
Yes. Yeah. So giving you another team here. Um, they're a little bit lower. They're the sixth seed in the East right now, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. What are y'all's thoughts on them so far
they're
this year? I,
fun.
I can I can start it off by saying I love this team. I love Darius Garland. I was a little shaky on him coming out of college because he tore his ACL, and he still got drafted high, and I was like, this kid's not that good, and he's blossomed. Like he's playing. He's probably going to be an All-Star this year. Honestly,
I hope
either
so.
him or Jared Allen. Maybe even both. I think that they're not contenders yet. Um, I think they just need to grow a little bit more. They need Colin Sexton back. He's probably not going to come back this year. And people talking about them trading him and whatnot. I think you keep him. They were playing great early in the season with him. They're still playing great, but I think if they grow another year and then next year get him back, his scoring punch along with Darius Garland's playmaking, Jared Allen down low, Laurie Markkinen's the tallest small forward in the league at 7 foot tall. So I think
Not to
I don't
mention Evan Mobley as well.
yeah, their starting lineup has Laurie Markkinen, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen in it. So like it's a big
Huge.
starting lineup, which
Yeah.
helps when you get Colin Sexton and Darius Garland in the backcourt, considering they're both Colin Sexton's 6'1", maybe. Darius Garland's about 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah. So I mean, this team it's very young and they're very interesting, very fun to watch. And I didn't know how it would work between Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and then bringing in Laurie Markkinen as well. I mean, it just seems like it seems like they might struggle to start out, but like you said, sixth seed. They still have injury problems. Darius Garland been fantastic. Jared Allen has been fantastic. He is great in the post. Love his offensive game as well as his shot blocking is fantastic. Um, Again, they're pretenders. They don't have the one really good wing, in my opinion, just kind of like the
Yeah.
Bulls you're talking about, that can really, play both ways. If they can get if I'm the Cavs, I'm keeping my lineup, but then I'm trying to find some kind of two-way wing that can,
Yeah,
take me over the
because
edge.
Laurie Markkinen is their small forward, but he's more of a power forward.
He's a
But
stretch.
they've been going with this lineup and it's been working. But in the playoffs, like I said, who's going to guard? I guess Evan Mobley or Jared Allen's going to guard KD. You don't want Jared Allen guarding KD, but Evan Mobley. I mean, he's a rookie. It's one of those things where like, who's going to guard Giannis? Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Definitely not Laurie Markkinen. So
No.
who you put Laurie Markkinen on?
Exactly. They need the firepower, but I mean they're fun to watch. I think give them a few years. If they keep this team assembled together, I think they can make a championship run.
Oh yeah,
That's kind of where I'm at. They're pretenders this year, but it's just because they're young, and I think give it time, then they will be. I mean, think about it. They're a super young team. They're sixth seed. Give it a year or two, I could see them firing on all cylinders and being the second seed or even the first seed. So I think this season they're going to perform well, but they're pretenders, and then next season I can see them being
Could y'all
big time.
could y'all see them dropping and like maybe dropping down to like the 8 or 9 by the end of the season, or do y'all think they're going to sustain this level?
No, because the Raptors are at the ninth and 10th seed. We suck, so
Yeah.
Y'all been playing better lately.
Yeah, I mean the Raptors. You guys are in. I mean you're the 10 seed right now, so you're
Yeah.
kind of like you're in the play-in if it ends today.
oh
But
yeah, we're there, but we're not there.
you're only right there with New York. So I think this New York team's better than Toronto. But I mean, like you said about Cleveland, I'm just looking at the rest. The 7 seed Charlotte, they're not bad. LaMelo's been amazing. Washington, Boston, as you know, Boston's been a struggle. They've been disappointing. And then Toronto, I just don't see any of those teams. Maybe Boston, if they can figure it out, can be the reason they drop. But I don't see them dropping behind any of these other teams.
Yeah. And switching from the Cavs to another young up and coming team, the Memphis Grizzlies. They've been falling this year. Ja Morant has honestly this season probably been the second best point guard in the league behind Stephen Curry. The last month, you could say he's been better than Stephen Curry. But I think they're pretenders.
Really?
And the only reason I say that is because, yes, I love Ja and I love their team. But there's something about them that in the playoffs, I just can't see them getting over the hump just quite yet. And I don't know what it is. Like, yes, they have a well-rounded team.
People said the same thing, though, about the Suns last year, and they were in the finals.
Yes, but the Suns had Chris Paul, who had been in the playoffs before. Yes, he'd never been to the finals. They had Chris Paul, who we knew what kind of player he was and what he could do for a team. And then they also had Devin Booker. And that's where I think the Grizzlies have Ja Morant, who is an extraordinary player, but they don't have that second-tier star. They have Jaren Jackson Jr., who's more of a third or honestly fourth-tier star who is like a really –
But Jaren Jackson Jr., he's been solid recently. He's definitely been progressing with this team, and his relationship with Ja Morant has been fantastic. But, yeah, those are the two stars. But you got to think about dudes like Desmond Bane. He's been going crazy recently. I mean, he's shown that he is ready to be, kind of maybe their number 3, which they, because it's Desmond Bane. But I actually do like this team. I actually think they could be a contender, simply because I don't know about the rest of the West. I mean, you got the Warriors, who obviously they're solid. They're going to be one of the best teams.
The Warriors struggle against any team that has two big men that are taller than 6'10".
If you got a Kevon Looney 6'9" and then Draymond Green 6'7", front court, you're gonna struggle. As good as Draymond is, and he's been out for a while, so they've been looking a little weird. But I mean, Steven Adams has been solid. He's been a decent anchor for them. I'm kind of liking how they're working with Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson. I didn't think it was going to work out personally going into the season, but obviously they've made it work. Ja Morant, he's just such a fun, exciting, energetic player, and you still got dudes like Kyle Anderson, Mr. Slow-Mo. He's been solid too. I mean, you have so much depth with this team, and I think that can actually make them get a playoff run over some of these big name teams.
Okay.
I'm split in the middle. I'm split in the middle for the pure fact of, like you said, they don't I'm trying to find the right words to say here. I'm just split in the middle.
I didn't talk about Dylan Brooks either. I didn't even talk about
he's been hurt. If they get him back, maybe, possibly. But like I said, they don't have that second-tier star.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of split in the middle, is because there isn't the second tier, but at the same time they're the third seed playing still extremely well without it. So I'm gonna stay mutual here. I'm staying right down the middle. I'm not going contender or pretender just because I think we'll figure out more with Memphis. I think we'll figure out more after the All-Star break on whether or not they really are a contender or pretender. I think once we reach that point where it's like, okay, now it's for seeding, then we'll see what type of team they really are.
I think this team reminds me so much of MVP Derrick Rose Bulls.
See, I think Derrick Rose had a better overall team around him because they had Carlos Boozer, they had Luol Deng, they had Joakim Noah. I mean,
I can agree with that, but I think Ja Morant makes his players look better than Derrick Rose made his players look. I think Ja Morant, he's been honestly a better playmaker. I hate to say that. I mean, because Derrick Rose, MVP Rose was fantastic, but he's also like, I love Ja Morant. He's one of my favorite players, so that's why I'm really high on him. I think they can make it.
Ja's one of those guys that he's gonna win. Ja doesn't care if he drops 10 points or 40 points. He just wants to win.
He just wants to win.
And that's the thing about Memphis is they can win when he's dropping 10 or they can win when he's dropping 40. Like I said, in the playoffs when it comes down to it, he balled out last year. in the playing games and in the first round against Utah. But you saw they didn't have enough because, like I said, they don't have that next player.
Yeah.
So just to finish up with the last team I wanted to talk about, I think we all know what's coming, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm not really saying contender or pretender. I just think we need to talk about them. They are 22-23. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games.
How many of those games though has LeBron played in? Do we know?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
In the last 5,
No. I'm saying for the whole season.
LeBron has played 33 games. So he's missed, 10 games?
10, 11 games.
Yeah. And he's averaging 28 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
I think there's just MVP Bron.
He's shooting 51%, 36 from 3. He's shooting 8 attempts from 3 a game. And he's only making 2.9. 3 really. He's only averaging 5 free throws a game. I think that is hurting them a little bit. I think he should be averaging a little bit more than that. I think their problem is Russell Westbrook and LeBron playing together. I don't mind Russell Westbrook on that team. They really don't fit together, but if you're going to keep them together, because there's probably no trade package you can put Russ in unless you're getting
a John Wall back.
Yes, or packaging Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris for Russell Westbrook, but that's not going to happen. You got to have 2 big contracts.
Russ got benched, didn't he?
Well, benched.
Yeah,
There was 3:52 in the game left in the game last night, and the Frank Vogel said, "Look, I'm playing the players that I think can win us the game." They ended up losing the game, by the way. So that was funny. But I think what they need to do is bring Russ off the bench, see how that goes, and stagger his minutes with LeBron. And when he's out there, have 4 shooters around him, nobody over 6'8", kind of like they did with the Rockets when he was with the Rockets. And let Russ do what Russ does. And because watching them the other night against I didn't watch the game last night. Watching them against Utah the other night. It's just they beat Utah, but it was just one of those games where it's like Utah had an off night. They probably wouldn't.
Russ played good that game too, though. Obviously he had his big poster on Rudy Gobert, but he played well. He's what I've been noticing from Russ recently, ever since that stats sheet meme that's been going around. He's been having a lot less turnovers, and that's huge to Russ's game. Being a primary ball handler, like you're gonna have turnovers, but he's been solid in his turnover game, and he's still averaging good numbers. Like he's still a good player. People are like they're seeing what he used to be and like the records he used to have, and like now they see him as a trash player. He's still doing really good.
Well, that's what I was about to ask is his legacy. What
screw his legacy.
I said earlier to one of my friends, I said, if you put Russ on 25 other teams in the league, he's still a top 3-point guard.
Whoa, top 3, I don't know about that. But
this season, I promise you, if Russ would have been on 25 other teams, one of 25 other teams, he would still be a top 3-point guard because of how he plays and what he does. Now, I'm not saying that team is going to be one of the best teams in the league, but last year, Russ averaged a triple-double once again with Washington. But Washington just didn't have the team around him to do anything. Bradley Beal, but other than that, their team was pretty bad. And obviously they made the playoffs and whatnot. But I just think Russ at this point, his shot is – he never really had a shot. But it's just gotten to the point where it's just he might play himself out of the league if he keeps trying to shoot and doesn't realize that he's got to take a back seat.
Yeah, and a back seat doesn't mean let LeBron do his thing. A back seat can also mean let these young kids do their thing. You're watching, and I say young with a little asterisk next to it because his team is very old. But you got Malik Monk, very athletic, and one dude that Will and I were watching the other night had a fantastic game, Stanley Johnson, and he's going crazy. He went crazy one night, and he showed that like if you let these young kids play and get some meaningful minutes, they can show out for you. I want to see Austin Reeves play more. He's just a shooter, and you need shooting. You need 3-point shots on this team. That's why LeBron's taking these 8 3-pointers a game. It's not because he wants to, it's because he needs to. But
Well, but
I
see,
still
that's
think they're a contender simply because it's LeBron and it's the Lakers. You'll have Anthony Davis back hopefully, and they're going to end up making it probably to the Western Conference Finals, if I'm being honest.
wow. Really?
I don't see that happening just
I
because of
do, dude.
last year
You
with
got LeBron and Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, and you have the rest of these people.
yeah, you could make the same argument though for last
Dude,
year.
okay, but injuries
They're very
messed them
injury
up bad.
prone.
Yeah, injuries messed them up bad. They got screwed over, but they
And,
also
and that's what I'm saying. They don't have, personally, because of how old they are, I don't think they have the durability to go all that way without a big key component getting injured, like Anthony Davis did last year.
but
I mean,
But-
as much as LeBron's been playing and they've been using LeBron, who knows? What if he burns out at the end of the season?
Yeah, like that's my thing. Like,
Dude, look,
eventually LeBron's going to need to take like 2 weeks off.
it's been the same, and he might do that, but they're gonna make the playoffs easily. I think so.
Oh yeah,
They're not. They're kind of mixed up right now. Like if they let a few games go, they're not gonna make the playoffs. But they will make the playoffs. They'll probably be like a 6 seed, maybe a 7 seed. I don't know how it's gonna be for them, but hopefully, if they don't match up with like a Phoenix in the first round, like they did last year, then I can seriously see this team make it to the conference finals, barring injuries or COVID. That's a huge thing, obviously, because last year I know Anthony Davis, LeBron, but LeBron was hurt too last year, and LeBron wasn't playing healthy in the playoffs. So if they can stay healthy, dude, it's the same thing. People keep saying about Tom Brady every year. He's too old. He's not durable enough. LeBron James is not too old. He is durable enough. He will make.
I don't think people have been saying LeBron's too old. I haven't heard.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
one
durability
person say
part.
that.
I'm talking about the durability part. People are saying since he's getting older, he's getting less durable. You're playing him too much. He's going to burn out. Just like you both said, I don't think that's true. I think they're playing him exactly how they need to be. I think they're playing him in order to win and make it to the playoffs.
I don't think they're playing how they need to be. He's averaging the most minutes he has since 2017-18. He's averaging 20 shots. He hasn't averaged 20 shots a game since 2009, 2010 with the Cavs.
Okay, that's on the offensive side of the ball. Now look at the defensive side of the ball. He's not
playing
running
defense.
around the wing anymore. He's playing center, dude. Like he is playing defense, but he is sitting in the paint and he is not wasting all of his energy now. It's some things you don't think about. Like he's playing the 5 in this small ball lineup, and he is not running around the court the whole time. He is letting his playmakers. That's why he's giving the ball to Russ. He's letting Malik Monk take it up sometimes.
But that's why they're not a good team.
that's why they're not winning.
But they're going to make playoffs, and when they're in the playoffs, LeBron will take over. Anthony Davis
You're
will
wrong.
turn in.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
I don't think they're.
You know
gonna
what?
send-
We still have months. Not months. No, we still have months ahead of us. Like of what's going to happen. To me, every team doesn't show up until early after the All-Star break. And it's ride or die at that point. It's we got to go or we're done.
I don't see how they make the conference finals. I just think that's
The conference finals is a stretch.
Okay. Tell me what teams are going to make it over them.
I think Phoenix is a better team. I think the Warriors are a better team. I think Utah's a better team. I think Denver's a better team. I think Memphis is a better team.
You see, you can say that right now. Yeah, I can agree with you right now that these teams are a better team. But
once it comes playoff time,
LeBron is not playoff LeBron yet. He's still regular season LeBron, and he's still averaging great numbers. He's still one of the best players in the world. There's a lot of great talent in the West, but I think the Lakers come playoff time. Denver will choke. Utah will choke. Dallas, I don't think Dallas is the 5th best team in the West, just to be honest with you. Memphis, I don't think they have the experience enough. Golden State, I hope Golden State makes it all the way. Phoenix, I think they might have figured out how to match up with Phoenix, hopefully. And I seriously think they'll make to the Western Conference Finals. I could be dead wrong. They could maybe not even make the playoffs.
I could see the Western
All I'm
Conference
saying is-
Finals having them, but it all comes down to the big thing in the sky with the Lakers is injuries. I'm telling you, if AD gets injured and it's all on LeBron,
He'll get hurt again.
All I'm saying is they were 13-14 when Anthony Davis got hurt, and they've been 9-9 since. I don't think he's made that big of a difference. That's all I'm saying. So when he comes back, I mean, they've been basically the same team without him. So he hasn't been playing good at all this year, in my opinion. I mean, he's had a couple 30-point games and whatnot, but I don't think he's had that good of a season compared to
they were too busy promoting Space Jam in the offseason.
Anthony Davis has supposed to been the next guy for the last 4 or 5 years, and he just hasn't made that leap, and I don't think he ever will. And honestly, like I really don't.
I think Anthony Davis will go down as a good player, but not a great player.
Yeah, I think he's overhyped because of how he was the main guy in New Orleans. And yes, he played good that first year with LA, but he's too injury prone, and I just don't think he has that mentality.
I think you'll find it. Hey, Will, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Right now, you taking Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Davis?
Well, one's playing and the other's not.
Okay.
I'd rather not have either of them. But if I had to pick who's the better like overall player when they're healthy, it's Anthony Davis. But I'd rather not have either of them.
All right, DeAndre Ayton or Anthony Davis?
Probably Anthony Davis.
All right, let's.
I don't see what you're doing here.
Davis.
So you're saying because he's better than the centers?
I'm saying he's going to bring another value to this team. That these other teams, I think in the West.
All right. No, all right. So you're doing that. Who are you taking? You taking Malik Monk or Devin Booker? Malik Monk or Devin Booker?
I'm taking LeBron.
Steph Curry or Chris Paul?
What?
John Morant or Steph Curry? I mean, you're making
the point that I'm making is you're saying that he's not going to make a difference, and I'm saying he will make a difference because they're going to continue to play the way that they're playing, which is not great, but they're going to add Anthony Davis to the mix, and he's going to come in, stir some stuff around.
But I'm telling you, they were 13 and 14 when he got hurt, and they've been 9-9 since. They haven't changed. They're the same team.
Telling me since he's got hurt that they haven't done anything together.
They were below average before he.
Listen, that's when they started. That's when they started messing with LeBron and trying to put him at the 5. Now, if LeBron can take an actual 4 role and be just a power forward, let Anthony Davis play 5, let Russell Westbrook take the ball and be their primary ball handler, I think that this team can seriously make some trouble. It's a playoff team.
So who are you taking, Donovan Mitchell or Malik Monk?
Malik Monk all day. That's the end of the discussion.
That's how invalid your
obviously question. I'm taking Donovan Mitchell, but I'm still taking. Ooh, I don't know about Mike Conley or Russ. I don't know about that one. I'm still taking Russ over Mike Conley, but
I don't understand how you can argue that one player in one position.
Because you were arguing that one player is not going to make a difference for the team. And the argument that I was trying to make by comparing him to other centers in the league that are being productive for this teams are that he's going to come back and be productive for his team. Yeah, he didn't start out well, but you can say that for a bunch of players.
So who's better, Jokic or Anthony Davis?
100% Jokic. That's what I'm saying. Jokic and Rudy Gobert are the 2 centers in the West, in my opinion, that are better than Anthony Davis. And Gobert, because he gives a different dynamic, he's better defensively, big time. He's one of the best defenders in the league. That's the only. I'm just saying he will make a difference. This team will not be a 500 team when he's back, and they will make not a finals run. They will make a conference finals run.
All right,
we will see.
That's up in the air. We'll see. That's about all we have time for today. Tomorrow we're going to be back with our NFL divisional round predictions. I'm excited for those to see what y'all have. I don't know if we have any upsets or whatnot. Next week we're going to be back. Hopefully we can get you 2 NBA videos. There's a lot going on. We're going to be doing a all-star, our all-star teams who we think should make it.
We're about to transition into full-time NBA.
We're going to start
NFL being the back burner.
We're going to start talking a little bit of college basketball because, that's starting to heat up a lot too. Anything else y'all guys got before we get off?
I'm good.
Like, comment, subscribe.
That's what I was going to say. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.